Está no ar a Rádio Libertadora. Atenção.
Imagine if you didn't need to study years on end to develop one technique like pointillism or cubism like Picasso. How many years did he take to go from realism and prove himself to cubism? You can be Pollock in one day, and in the other day you can be Juan Francisco Casas and put every idea on your head in digital art, high resolution. So the day is now. The genie is out of the bottle, and the artistic community is going wild. At this moment, I'm quite suspended from Reddit because my quote unquote art. So I found it very funny that the same places that promote Beeple, for example, the guy who pushed NFT for what is it today, like art, being Logan Paul drawing a monkey, or even Beeple that did the same thing AI is doing. He just bought some resources and mashed up together, like it's a very incompetent AI. So I'm quite amused by it, and I'm loving using the tool. The tool that I use is DALL-E, and I use that tool because you don't have many options like art style or engines. You can get consistent with one engine and just use your words or your poetry to translate that into the image you were seeking. And I will explain real quick what AI art. I will explain real quick what AI art is. So basically, you get a text box, and in that text box, you type a text, of course, and after the text, an image appears. And what your text is, it's a fight between a human and a machine for you to take dominance, the human, to take dominance and translate what's in your head. And the medium is the cell phone or your computer. So what's keeping you from doing art right now? You don't need to buy horsehair brushes. You don't need expensive paint. Of course, there is a cost to it, to any digital art. But there's the software I told you, DALL-E, has a sponsorship program where anyone can subscribe, and they choose people to test the software and use the tools for free in a limited extent, of course. So there's no excuse. The artist community that studied years is seeing those years fade because a better artist, can just do it in seconds. Like right now, every image you see I own. They are my creations and my images, and I have the right for them. So YouTube can do anything to put my video down because they are mine. I have the rights. So imagine if you are a YouTube creator and a small one, not like the dude in a room that has the fortune and the skill and the touch to have an artist doing all the art for his video, a paying artist that receives what they actually deserve, unlike me before DALL-E, that, well, so if you have access to the tool and you are a YouTuber, you can just forget about Google Images and, I don't know, manga prompts. So Shueisha can't go all the way from Japan and hammer you down. That's amazing thing. And that is today, my friends. And tomorrow, maybe. Imagine if you can predict, of course, with your consentment, you can predict how you will look in a slimmer, a bit of weight loss or a weight gain, maybe, and exercise accordingly. Imagine if those tools are used by the people. Imagine if someone already thought on something to do with artificial intelligence. Well, I'm not gonna discuss further on that, and I'm digressing. But the important thing for art is protest. is in the hand of everyone, even though the tools don't like politics or politicians, better yet saying. Now everyone has everything they need and they reach. I will leave the tools in the description down below. I don't know if anyone will see this video or not, but yeah. Let me explain a bit about my thought process and how the tool works. So you're seeing praying mantis, a steampunk praying mantis. So you can either choose 1, 10. I don't like to choose artists and copy their styles, but sometimes I just put together like 5 or 6 artists I like and see what their love child look like. But you can also choose like a hyper realistic portrait as the first prompt. Second prompt could be your subject, like in this case a praying mantis, and then description on how you want it to look like. I wanted steam, but I didn't got steam in this one. I would need to add in post, but I did got everything else. I got the cogwheels, I got the hose, and as you can see, I can reproduce whatever I want, however I want, with the subject I want, the same style and technique I used on this poetry. And if you think it's easy to make, well, of course it's easy to make AI art. There is a button that you can generate randomly, but to do what you want to do, to put your idea to the screen, it's quite a process. And if you guys want, I can tell what I discovered in that process, because I'm very interested in it. But as I said, Picasso took years to prove that he could be realist, and it took me a few minutes. I reproduced this sculpture I did on oil clay because I don't want to try to reproduce another human being for ethical reasons, or till we decide or define what the ethical boundaries are. I'm gonna avoid real people. But yeah, it's consistent. Like you see in this picture, I was looking for how to make a woman, and I managed to reproduce her in a cartoon style, cartoonish, anime-ish. I don't know what you would call, but it's pretty interesting. And it's also a tool of reflection at the same time, because if you look, for example, a transsexual girl, a transsexual woman, if you look, for example, a transsexual woman, you see what the society is. The result will, as you see, shows reality. Like if you search for age specifically, like this case 25 years old, with the same prompt, you get a completely different result. And in seconds you can picture with quite good precision, because the AI was trained with photos. You can picture with quite impressive precision how the demographic is, how the communities looks like, the people that are forgotten, how many people are overweight, how many people are slim. Because if you search, for example, for a man, it will show in this tool it shows 4 results at once, and it usually shows around the 40 years old mark, and that must be the average, I don't know. And between 40 and 50s, and one Caucasian, 1 black man, 1 Asian man. It's just the biggest parcels of the population, right? But yeah, it's quite impressive too. And if you guys want, if you guys want to follow my work with this tool, you can follow me on Instagram or on Reddit. I hope I'm back on Reddit when this video is out. And Speaking of about being out, I'm out. Peace.